Hello, everybody. Welcome to the first game, opening day 2022 payoff pitch. The 2022 New York Yankees replay is now underway. And as you can see here, we have the starting lineups, the benches, and the massive bullpens for both teams. This is back in the beginning of 2022 where all teams carried 28 players until May the 1st. So that's why the bullpens are loaded. Actually, Boston's carrying one extra bench player than the Yankees are, but Yankees are carrying one extra pitcher than Boston is. All right, so we'll be doing that, and I'm going to be using Digital Diamond Baseball to keep track of the stats. I'll enter that in the computer after I play the game, and that'll help keep the stats for the Yankees and see how they're doing on the season replay. And for the other games, so let me move this out of the way very briefly. For the other games, we will have Fast Score. And if you have not seen Fast Score, where have you been? But if you haven't, it's from Replay Baseball. It's a version of Fast Score to get, it's basically a way to very quickly sim other games without playing the game, just getting a final score. And the way it works is you have this chart, and we're looking mainly for these numbers right here. These numbers correspond to the numbers in this column over on this side based on the pitching matchup of the game being played. So, for instance, just to do the first, well, actually we'll do it with the Yankees and the Red Sox just as a what if. Red Sox and Yankees, Eovaldi against Garrett Cole, it's an 8 versus a 15, so at least on paper, Yankees have the advantage with Cole going, so they get a 15. The higher number are always better over here, 15. So what you do when you want to roll for the Yankees is we come over here to 15, we're going to roll 2 D6s and add them up. 1 D6 is a 10s and 1 D6 is a 1s. So that would be a 64. If we rolled that, it would be a 64. I used the big die for the 10s, the little die for the 1s. So that would be a 64. So if you had a 15, which is what we had with Garrett Cole over there's a 15, we cross-reference 15 over to where we find 64, which is right here, and go up, and that says the Yankees had would get 9 runs that game. The Red Sox have an 8, so we come over here to 8, and let's suppose they rolled a 35. So we go to 8 and a 35, we cross-reference here, 35 stops here, go up here, it's a 3, so there you go, the Yankees would win that 9-3. So that's kind of how it goes. If there is a tie, there is a tiebreaker clutch rating on the back for each team, and we roll for that. If it ties after the clutch, then it just goes to the home team, gets the win. So I'm going to be doing that for all the games other than the Yankee games so that I can get wins and loss totals for the whole league rather than let Digital Diamond just sim everything. I thought it might be more fun to do it this way, kind of like a scoreboard ticker or whatever you want to call it. And since I'm only doing one game like every 3 or 4 days, which is the first game of every series, rather than doing it every day, I'm going to be doing a lot of the Fast Score starting. I'm going to play do a couple days of Fast Score before the game starts and a couple days after the game starts. So in this case, this game that today for the Yankees and the Red Sox is actually being played on Friday, April the 8th. The April 7th day that they had scheduled was rained out. This was an off day, so they just bumped the game back to here. And that's why, and that happened for several teams, which is why there's a whole lot more here on the 8th than there is on the 7th. So I'm going to do the 7th and the 8th. Then I'm going to play the game. And then I'm going to come back and do the 9th and the 10th. And that will get everything caught up through the 10th. And I'll play these 2 games offline, the Yankee games offline. That way everybody gets caught up through the 10th. And then when we get to the 11th, the next video will be Toronto and the Yankees. First game of that series on the 11th. And then I'll do the Fast Score for the 11th and the 12th and so forth. So that's the plan anyway. That hopefully we'll do that. And again, like I said, the red die and the white dice, the big one is the 10s, the little Stratomatic size one is the 1s. So if we put that out there, that would be a 61. And what I do is I have the red dice to be the visiting team and the white dice to be the home team. And roll them all 4 at one time so it goes a little bit faster. And hopefully everybody will catch on and it won't be overly difficult, and hopefully I won't screw anything up. That's the other big part. Just making sure I don't screw anything up. Okay, so we're going to start this. Madison Bumgarner and Yu Darvish for San Diego on April the 7th. It's a 14 for San Diego, a 7 for Bumgarner and the Diamondbacks. So the red die is going to be San Diego, and that's the 14, and the white dice are going to be Arizona. That's the 7. So we're going to take the red dice, whatever we total, compare it to the 14, cross-reference to get a number. Do the same thing for Arizona. So I'll roll them separately on the first one just so you can get an idea in case you haven't seen this before. So this roll is for San Diego. They are a 14. That's a 54. So a 54, we go to 14, come over here to 54, and that gives us a 7. 53 to 56 gives us a 7. So that means that San Diego scored 7 runs in that game. All right, we go to Arizona. They're a 7, and they roll a 51. So we go to 7, cross-reference to 51, which is right here, and they get a 4. So that means that San Diego won that game 7-4. So it's pretty much like that. So let's see if we can get a flow going now by rolling all 4 at one time, and that way it won't take so long to go through this ticker. All right, we got Cincinnati at Atlanta. Tyler Mahle against Max Fried. A 3 versus a 15, so Atlanta has a huge advantage. The white die, being the home team, has a huge advantage. So let's see what happens. All right, we got a 41 for the visiting Reds, which is a 3. A 3, well, it's way up here. 3 and a 41 is a 3. So the Reds score 3 runs. Atlanta's a 15, and they got a 56. 15 and a 56 is an 8. So Atlanta wins that game 8-3. All right, next is Chicago and Milwaukee. And this one, Milwaukee has the advantage, 12-5. So the red dice had the advantage on this one. But they get a low number, 13. So we go over here, 12, and a 13 only corresponds to 1 run for Milwaukee. For the Cubs, they have a 5. They start with a 5, and they get a 23. 5 and a 23 is 2 runs. So Milwaukee loses to Chicago 2-1 despite having the advantage. That's the way the dice went. Now we got Pittsburgh and St. Louis. St. Louis a huge advantage with a 16. That's the white dice. 35 for the Pittsburgh. They're a 5. 5 and a 35 is a 3. So they scored 3 runs. Pittsburgh's a 51, and they are St. Louis is a 51, and they are a 16. 16 and a 51 is a 7. So St. Louis wins that game 7-3. The actual scores aren't important. It's the win-loss that's important. I'm going to keep separate track of wins and losses on a yellow legal pad kind of thingy, so I can make sure I get it all straight. And I'll probably just put it into Excel once I get a few of them under my belt, just so that I keep it saved and everything. I'll have it on paper and on Excel just in case something happens. All right, so the Mets and the Nationals, 19-10. Mets have the advantage, so the red die is going to have the advantage 19-10. For the red dice, they get 23. 23 on a 19. 19 and a 23 is a 4. So the Mets get 4 runs. The Nationals have a 10 and a 25. 10 and a 25 is a 3. So Mets win that game 4-3. So the Mets are the winner. Next game is Houston and the Angels. That's Shohei Ohtani, although they've given the advantage to the Astros 6-3. So the red die had the advantage. But the red die only rolled 25, so that's bad news for Houston. They're a 6, and they rolled a 25, and that's a total of 2 runs. The Angels are a 3, but they rolled a 62. So a 3 and a 62 takes us to a 5, so the Angels win that game 5-2. It should be a 2 there. All right, last game on April the 7th is Zach Greinke and Shane Bieber. 10 for Cleveland, so that means the red die have the advantage with a 10. And they roll a 31, so they may not get the advantage after all. A 10 and a 31 is a 3 for Cleveland. Kansas City's a 4, but they rolled a 54. So a 4 and a 54 is a 4. So Kansas City actually wins that game 4-3. That's the total roundup there for April the 7th. Now we go to April the 8th, and I'll stop after April the 8th because that's where this game's going to be played for the Yankees. And then after the game is over on Payoff Pitch, I'll come back and do the 9th and the 10th. in similar fashion, and then we'll close it out for the opening day ceremonies. And then that way, the next video, I'll play these two offline. We'll be ready to go. Be 3 games in the book, or 4 games in the books for all the teams, or 3 games at least for the Yankees because they had a rainout. Some teams will have 3, some teams will have 4, but we're ready to go for April 11th and the Toronto Yankee series. So now on the 8th, San Diego and Arizona again. This time Arizona has the advantage with Merrill Kelly over Sean Manaea, 13-8. So white dice have the advantage. White dice have the advantage, I should say. But the red die have a 62. So 62 for San Diego, they're an 8. 8 and a 62 goes all the way up to a 6. So 6 runs for San Diego. Arizona has a 13, but they only rolled a 22. So a 22 is going to stop here at a 3. So San Diego wins at 6-3. The Padres are 2-0. Diamondbacks 0-2. Cincinnati and Atlanta. Charlie Morton's got a huge advantage, 23-8 over San Martin. So the white die in total control in this one, it would look like. And it looks like that's going to be the case here because he also rolled a 63, whereas the red die rolled a 16. So an 8 and a 16 is only a 2. And Atlanta, a 23, goes all the way down here to 23, and they rolled a 63. 23 and a 63 is 11 runs. So Atlanta crushes Cincinnati 11-2, and they are now 2-0. Cincinnati drops to 0-2. Now Colorado and the Dodgers, their first game. It's Walker Buehler against Kyle Freeland, but the Dodgers have an advantage 16-8. So the red die have the advantage, or red dice, I should say. 23, 16 and a 23 is 4. So the Dodgers get 4. And 13 and an 8 for the Rockies. They only score 1 run. So the Dodgers win it 4-1. All right, Oakland and Philly for the first game, and Aaron Nola has a big advantage over Frankie Montas, 10-4. Advantage goes to the white dice, and it's a 55. So a 10 and a 55 for Philadelphia relates to a 6. So they get 6 runs. Oakland a 4 and a 4 and a 51. 4 and a 51 is a 4. So Philly beats Oakland 6-4. Giants and the Marlins, first game for them this season. It's an even matchup, 4-4, so no advantage either way except for what the dice say. And it looks like it's a slight advantage for the visiting team, a 15. So we get a 4 and a 15, and that is a total of 1 run. 1 run for Miami. 4 and an 11 for the Giants is a 0. So Miami shuts out the Giants 1-0 as they get the win. Second game for the Mets as they look to go 2-0 against the Nationals. Scherzer against Josiah Gray. It's a 14-1 advantage for the Mets. So red die all over this one. Red dice, I should say. And we get a 54. So 14 and a 54 is 7 runs for the Mets. For the Nationals, they have a 1 and an 11, and that translates to a 0. So 7-0 shutout there. And that takes us to Houston and the Angels. Odorizzi gets the advantage over Detmers, 10-6 for the red dice. And they might need it because that's a 21. 10 and a 21 is only a 2 runs for Astros. For the Angels, a 6 and a 54. 6 and a 54 gives them 5 runs, so the Angels get the victory there to even. Actually, they sweep the first 2 games, 5-2 in both games. So the Angels 2-0, the Astros 0-2. White Sox and the Tigers, their first game, 10-9, slight advantage for the red dice. And that's a 45 on both sides. They both get 45s. So a 10-45. 10-45 is a 5. And a 9-45 is a 5. So we got a tie. So we got our first tie. 5-5. So we come over here to the clutch section. And we're looking at the White Sox and Detroit. The White Sox have a +2. Detroit has a +1. So we're going to roll 1 die each. Red die for the visiting, white die for the home Detroit. And we're going to add either 1 or 2 to their total. So I'll do them one at a time to keep it separate. This is for Chicago. They roll a 5, and they get a +2. +2, it gives them a 7. So the only way that Detroit can do anything with this is you got to roll a 6 because they only get a +1. And they get a 1 + 1 is a 2. So it's a victory. It's going to go 6-5. All they do is take the 5-5 score and add 1 to Chicago. So they get the victory, 6-5. And that's how the tiebreaker goes on that. All right, now Seattle and Minnesota, 8 and 9. Joe Ryan gets a slight advantage over Robbie Ray. So the white die have a slim advantage. But the red die come up big, 65. That's an 8 for Robbie Ray in Seattle. 8 and a 65 gives them 8 runs for the Mariners. For the Twins, they get a 9 and only a 35. 9 and a 35 is 4 runs. So Seattle beats Minnesota 8 to 4. All right, of course, we skipped the Yankee game because I'm going to be playing that. Now Baltimore and Tampa. John Means against Shane McClanahan, 4-5, so slight advantage for the white dice. And let's see, but the red dice have a 62, so the Orioles could buck the trend here. 4 and a 62 is a total of 5 runs. Toronto, a 5, and they get a 45. 5 and a 45 is 4 runs, so Baltimore beats Tampa 5 to 4. Last game before we start our payoff pitch, it is going to be Texas and Toronto, their opening day game. John Gray against Jose Barrios, 12 and a 13, very even matchup, but the white dice get a slight advantage as the home team. And we get a 55, so it looks like they're going to win. 55 for, let's see, Toronto's got 13, so 13 and a 55 is 7 runs. And 24 and a 12 for Texas. 12 and a 24 is only 3 runs. So Toronto beats Texas 7 to 3. And there's the pregame portion of your fast score. I hope your team won. If they didn't, they might win after the game. But now we've got 2 days in the books simming. So we need to get the real game underway, the Boston and the Yankees, from Yankee Stadium, and we'll come back to fast score when the game is over for sure. And for the Yankees and the Red Sox, again, those are your starting lineups and benches for both teams. And oops, not my little thing over here. Starting pitchers, again, Garrett Cole for the Yankees will get the nod. And Nathan Eovaldi for the Red Sox will get the nod. Eovaldi was 6-3 with a 3.87 ERA in 20 starts. Did have 2 complete games, which is very, very interesting. Garrett Cole, 13-8, 3.50 ERA in 33 starts. No complete games. So we're just about ready to get this thing going. I got my charts. I'm not using any fast action cards. Everything is chart driven, which is kind of the way I like it. So I am keeping score on the score sheet over here off to the side. So I have that. And this is printed from Baseball Sim Research. Anybody can go in. It's free. You can go get it if you want. No ratings are in there, but I've got my little cards on the little holders that came with this board, so I can see the ratings of the players very easily, so I don't need to really write them down. All right, let's get ready to get the player introductions out of the way with the start announcement of the both starting lineups.
Hey, here we go. Today's first starting lineup for the Boston Red Sox. Kike Hernandez leads off in center field. Rafael Devers is at third base batting second. Xander Bogaerts is the shortstop. He turned down an extension too. He's batting third. The cleanup hitter is the slugger J.D. Martinez. Alex Verdugo is in left batting fifth. Travis Story, the newest Red Sox, is at second base batting sixth. Bobby Dahlback, the first baseman, batting seventh. Jackie Bradley Jr. back in Boston and back in right field. He is batting eighth, and Christian Vasquez behind the plate and catching for the New York Yankees. And Josh Donaldson, their new third baseman, is leading off. Batting second and playing right field is Aaron Judge. Anthony Rizzo batting third. He is the first baseman. Giancarlo Stanton, the DH, and he is batting cleanup. DJ LeMahieu at second base batting fifth. Joey Gallo in left field batting sixth. Aaron Hicks is in center field batting seventh. Kyle Higashioka behind the plate, the slugger from spring training. He is behind the plate batting eighth. And Isaiah Kiner-Falefa is the shortstop, and he is batting ninth. Today's cleanup hitter brought...
All right. Now that we got that out of the way, we can get the board set up. I'll get that set up, and we're ready for first pitch in just a quick second after this pause. Okay, I think we're about ready to go now for opening day. Yankees and the Red Sox payoff pitch. Got our dice right here. Got the 10s for the D10s and the 1s for the D10s, and then the 2 D6s. Yankee colors, white and gray, to go with the black. Because really they're not, I mean, they're supposed to be blue, but they really look like black. They're so dark, and so the black die is closer to Yankee colors than the blue die, I think, would be. All right, so leading off for the Red Sox is Kike Hernandez. He is in center field for this game against Garrett Cole. And the 2022 New York Yankees payoff pitch season replay is now underway. We get a 48. First of all, we get a 7. 7 is patient. 48 patient is a single for Kike Hernandez. He gets himself a leadoff single off the patient chart. And Kike Hernandez, I will be using the auto steals. So in this case, the 2D6 is total of 7, but he has to have a 1, which means he basically can't steal. He has no chance to steal because he had 0 stolen bases. So 2 is the lowest you can have on the dice, so that didn't happen. So that'll bring up Rafael Devers, the third baseman, against Garrett Cole. He only had 1 patient on his card, and it happened to be number 7, which is right there smack dab in the middle, but there's a lot of toughs all around it. So we shall see. Cole to Devers, that is a 9, which is tough, 78. Devers 78, tough is out of range. 78 is a fly to center, and there is 1 away. So 1 down as Devers flies out to the center fielder, Aaron Hicks. And that'll bring up the shortstop, Xander Bogaerts. Cole, we get a 12, which is tough. 83, tough 83 is going to be another fly out to center field. So Hicks with another chance out there, makes the most of it, puts it away, 2 down, and now it's the designated hitter, J.D. Martinez, as Cole keeps finding those tough results. That's an 8, that's tough again, and it's a 50, tough 50, and that is the first strikeout for the Yankees, as Cole takes Martinez and catches him looking. All right, so J.D. Martinez is out on strikes to end the inning. The end of half an inning of play. It is the Red Sox nothing and the Yankees coming to bat. Nathan Eovaldi will get the call on opening day for the Sox. And he'll be facing Josh Donaldson, third baseman. Donaldson, Judge, and Rizzo due up for the Yankees here in the bottom of the first. That's a 2. That's defense. And like I said, everything's going off the charts. No fast action cards. So we get a 64 on the 2D10s. And on the defensive chart, a 64 says we are checking the error chance of the third baseman, Rafael Devers. Devers, and I'll bring his card in, his defense, his error chance is a 4. So we go to the ballpark card, Yankee Stadium. Bring that in a little bit closer. 4 for an error chance, which means a 1 through 36, there will be an error. 37 through 99, there will be an out. So we roll 2d6, roll the 2d10s to determine whether it's an error or an out. The 2d6s will determine whether it's a 1-base error, 2-base error, or what kind of an out it is. So we roll the dice and see if we get a 1 through 36 for an error, or higher than 36, he will make the play. That is a 76. So we made the play. It's a 7. So on an out and a 7, out and a 7 for a middle infielder would be a ground ball fielder's choice, but nobody's on base, so it's simply going to be a 5-3 ground out. But I mean, it could have been a pop out or whatever. But in this case, Rafael Devers is up to the task. There was no error. So there's 1 away, and that'll send up the Judge, Aaron Judge. That's an 8, which is tough, 61, and that's a base hit for Aaron Judge. On a tough 61, he strokes a base hit. So Aaron Judge, 1 out single. He's got a 3 for a steal chance. He did steal 16 bases, but that's an 8, so he cannot get a jump. And we'll go to the first baseman, Anthony Rizzo. Red Sox looking to turn 2. That's an 11, which is in play, 21. And that's a base hit for Rizzo. Now, the dice chart is what we're going to use for runner advancement. And that's based on the lowest D6, which in this case is a 5. So runner advancement, run on first, and a 5, you get 1 base on a single. So in this case, Aaron Judge will just take second base and stop there. Rizzo with the base hit. So 2-on here in the first inning with only 1 out. And it brings up Giancarlo Stanton, the designated hitter. Eovaldi in early trouble. That's a 7, which is tough. 22, he struck him out. A huge strikeout for Eovaldi as the runners cannot advance. And now it's up to DJ LeMahieu to get it done for the Yankees. 9 is Patient, 44, and that's a walk. That's going to load the bases. So it's a Yankee on every base. As LeMahieu walks, bases are loaded for Joey Gallo, who would later be traded. But right now he's with the Yankees from April 8th to July 28th. So Gallo is in there at the moment, early in the season, as the left fielder. Bases are loaded, 2 outs, bottom of the first, no score from Yankee Stadium. 8 is tough, 51 struck him out, and that's going to end the inning. So Eovaldi strikes out Gallo to get out of the jam. The Yankees will leave them loaded. So really a bad break there for the Yankees. They were hoping to get some runs, but Eovaldi pitches out of the mess. And at the end of 1, we got no score from the stadium. Garrett Cole thought he was going to get some run support, but in that case, he did not. So now we go to the top of the second, and it will be Alex Verdugo for the Red Sox. And this is a totally experimental setup, so I'm hoping I got things in place. I don't know till after the video is over because I'm recording. I can't see. I can stand up and look through the phone, and it looks like it's okay, but I won't know for sure until I see it on camera for myself. So I'm recording this, and I'm going to upload it as a premiere so that you guys can chat amongst yourself and maybe ask questions of me if you have any questions while I'm getting through this game. Here's Alex Verdugo. It's a 4, and that's wheelhouse for Garrett Cole. Wheelhouse 68 for Verdugo against a righty. The wheelhouse only goes to 65. The 68 is going to be a ground ball to short. So Garrett Cole grooved one in there, but Verdugo misses it and hits a hard ground ball to Kiner-Falefa, who makes the play. 1 away for Trevor Story, second baseman acquisition from the Rockies. Cole, 10 is tough. 41 struck him out. So Trevor Story goes down on strikes. For out number 2. And that'll bring up Bobby Dahlback, the first baseman. Cole, an 8 is tough. 89, that's out of range. Tough 89 is a grounder to short again. Kiner-Falefa is there, and it's the end of the inning. So nothing for the Red Sox. As we go to the bottom of the second, no score. Coming up for the Yankees, it'll be Aaron Hicks, followed by Higashioka and Kiner-Falefa, bottom third of the order against Nathan Eovaldi. Both pitchers with a fatigue of 6. But on opening day, you kind of probably limit them to probably about 5 innings. Eovaldi 6 is tough, 55, and that's a base hit for Aaron Hicks against the tough result. Fought off that tough pitch and gets himself a leadoff single. His steal is a 3, but that's a 6, so no steal attempt there, no jump. And that'll bring up the catcher, Kyle Higashioka. Eovaldi, a 6 again, is tough, 47. That's a strikeout. So Higashioka goes down swinging. 1 away to the number 9 hitter, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. That's a 4, which is wheelhouse for Eovaldi. That's a 30 36, and a 36 for Kiner-Falefa is a base hit. Now, the rules say when you get a wheelhouse, runner automatically gets 2 bases on the wheelhouse effect. So he will get that wheelhouse, and Hicks will move to third base because it was on the wheelhouse chart. Or you could go by the dice or a fast action card, depending on how the game is very customizable, which is kind of nice. But if it's a wheelhouse, I always give them the extra base according to I think it's the basic rules on that. Basic running rule says wheelhouse, all runners get an extra base. So here is Josh, and I want to keep it simple for this replay because I just want to test the game out in its simplest form and see how it does. All right, so runners are at the corners with 1 out. Josh Donaldson, the batter. Red Sox are going to try to turn 2. Double play ratings of 8 for both pitcher and batter. So if they get a ground ball, it's a good chance for a double play. Evaldi, a 5 is in play, 71, and that's going to be a ground ball to second. So there you go. Ground ball to second. These total a 5, which is definitely less than the 8 on both sides. So it will be a 4-6-3 double play. And so the Red Sox played that one correctly, and it worked out in their favor for a 4-6-3 twin killing to end the inning, and the Yankees leave more runners on base. They are now, I believe, up to 5 runners left. Well, actually 4, because one of the runners got taken out by the double play, but they're definitely leaving runners on base. Not a good sign. That can definitely come back to get you later in the game. All right, so we go to the top of the third, no score, and Jackie Bradley Jr., the batter. Back with the Red Sox in the 2022 season after spending a little bit of time with Milwaukee. That's a 12, which is tough, 91. Tough 91 is going to be a ground ball to second, and an easy play for LeMahieu. 1 down. Number 9 hitter, the catcher, Christian Vasquez. Cole, a 6 is tough. 71. Tough 71's out of range. Another ground ball to LeMahieu at second. And 2 up and 2 down go the Red Sox. And back to the top of the order for Kike Hernandez. He got a base hit his first time up. He's been the only Red Sox batter to reach against Garrett Cole. We get an 8, which is tough. 23, that's a strikeout, and that's going to end the inning. So Garrett Cole, 3 shutout frames in his season debut, and putting things tough on the Red Sox. So Kike goes down, and now we start the bottom of the third. It'll be Aaron Judge, so here comes the Judge. And for Cole, that's 3 strikeouts in 3 innings. Judge singled his last time up, but was stranded at third base. That is a 7, which is tough. 17, he's going to sit down on strikes. So Judge back to his chambers as he strikes out, and he'll grab some bench. Here's Rizzo. He also singled his first time up. Evaldi, a 9, is patient, 62, and he's going to get hit by a pitch, so he plunks Anthony Rizzo. Not sure Rizzo thought much about that, but I don't think it was intentional. Rizzo is aboard. Steal of 3, but that's a 9, so there's not a whole lot of steals for the Yankees in 2022, I don't believe. Here's Giancarlo Stanton. They were just going for power. That's a 3, which is in play, 74, and that's going to be a fly to center field for out number 2. Put away out there by Kike. 2 down. And there's DJ LeMahieu. He walked his last time up. We get a 10, which is ballpark, and a 44. So we're going to Yankee Stadium for the very first time. 44 is the wheelhouse for a right-handed batter. So DJ LeMahieu got one to his liking. It's in his wheelhouse. 1 to 56 would be a hit. Anything higher than that will be an out. 23 or less will be a home run. And that's a 22. It is long, and it is gone. A 2-run home run for DJ LeMahieu. And the Yankees grab a 2-0 lead as DJ comes through for the Yankees. And they take a 2-0 lead. Eovaldi has to shake that off, and here comes Gallo. Eovaldi, a 4 is wheelhouse. He's back in the same boat. 20. It is gone again. Back-to-back jacks as Gallo sends it deep. And that is gone in the cheap seats in right field. And the Yankees with back-to-back jacks lead it 3-0 over a stymied and shocked Nathan Eovaldi. Can't get that third out. Here's Aaron Hicks. 7 is tough. 63. Just missed a base hit. 63 is a fly to right. Put away out there by Bradley, but the damage is done. Yankees strike for 3. 2-run homer off the bat of LeMahieu and a solo shot followed up by Gallo. And we go to the fourth. It is the Yankees 3 and the Red Sox nothing. Garrett Cole been given a 3-run lead to protect, and he'll be facing Rafael Devers to start things off. That is a 9, which is tough 70. Tough 70 is going to be a ground ball to short, kind of Falefa. Up with it, over to Rizzo, 1 away. Easy play. And maybe Cole can be relaxed now with a 3-run lead. Maybe he can pitch a little bit more relaxed, knowing one mistake's not going to cost him. Here's Bogaerts. And we get a 7, and that's patient. That's a 12, so another walk. Second walk issued by, or actually the first walk issued by Garrett Cole. The last time he was impatient, he gave up a hit. This time he gives up a walk to Bogaerts. And that'll bring up the dangerous J.D. Martinez. He can make this a 1-run game very quickly. 8 is tough. 88. Tough 88 is out of range. 88 is a ground ball to short. He's a double play of 9. He's a double play of 7. But that's an 8. So can't get the double play, but they will get the force on Bogaerts as J.D. Martinez reaches. And that out's going to go 6-4. Kind of Falefa flipping to LeMahieu, but not hit hard enough to turn 2. But there are now 2 outs. And it's up to Alex Verdugo for the Red Sox if they intend to dent the scoreboard. Martinez at first, not a very good runner. Verdugo grounded to short his first time up. We get a 6, and that's tough 70. Tough 70 is going to be a ground ball to short. And Kiner Falefa will just go ahead and throw to first and not worry about a force play. And that's going to do it for the Red Sox. They come away empty-handed. It is now still 3-0 in favor of the Yankees. And coming up for the Yankees, it'll be Kyle Higashioka, Kiner Falefa, and Josh Donaldson, numbers 8, 9, and 1 in the Yankee lineup. 3-0 Yankees, bottom of the fourth here at the stadium on opening day 2022. Eovaldi, 10 is ballpark. 31, we're in the wheelhouse for Higashioka. Gets a wheelhouse check. 1-64 is a hit. 1-36 is a homer. That's a 96, however. He got up under it, and it's going to be a fly to left. And Verdugo camps under it at the track for out number 1. Higashioka just misses a home run chance, but Eovaldi's putting too many in the wheelhouse and having some trouble. Here's Kiner Falefa. He singled first time up. 4 is wheelhouse again. 27, and it's not going to be a home run, but it will be a base hit for Kiner Falefa. And Eovaldi, it's not going to be around long if he's living in the wheelhouse. Now, Kiner Falefa did steal 22 bases. That's a 4, and this is a 4, so he does get the jump if he chooses to steal. Catcher arm rating, Vasquez is an arm rating of 2. So we go to our stolen base chart and see what that looks like. To see if there's a chance to steal or if he wants to steal. Kiner Falefa has a B steal rating, and we know the catcher Vasquez has a 2. So we go to the chart here, a B and a 2. We look for that in here, and the B and the 2 are right here under normal. So he would have a normal chance. So roll 2 D10s, 43 or higher, he's going to be safe. 13 to 42, he's caught. Anything less than 13, we got chances for errors. So they're going to go ahead and send him, but he needs a 43 or higher to be safe. And it's a 28, so he is caught stealing. So Kiner Falefa Thought he could go somewhere, but probably should have stayed put. But he is going to be caught stealing. And now it's going to go 2-4 as the second baseman, Trevor Story, puts on the tag. And just like that, there are 2 outs and the base is empty. But when you're up 3-0, you can take chances like that. Here's Josh Donaldson. Evaldi, a 2 is defense, and that's a 15. So we go to our defensive chart. A 2 and a 15. 15 says we're checking the range of the third baseman, Devers. His range is a D. Not very good. So a 1-49 will be a hit. 50 or higher would be an out. It is a 79. It's an out. That's a 5. Let's see what kind of an out we have. A 5 is a ground ball. It would be a double play, but nobody's on base, so it's just a ground ball, 5-3. As Devers has been challenged twice on his defense, once on his range and once on his error check. He's been up to the task both times, and nothing doing for the Yankees. So we played 4 from the stadium. It is the Yankees 3 and the Red Sox nothing. Leading off here in the top of the 5th, let's see, Garrett Cole might be able to go 6 if he faces fewer batters. So far he has faced a total of 14 batters. So if he gets through this inning pretty quickly, he might be able to stretch it to 6, but they might have to cut him off at 5 as well. We shall see. Opening day, you don't want to stretch him out too far. Of course, this was the season too in 2022 where they had the lockout, so everything was kind of late. So I don't think the pitchers got stretched out as much as they would have liked, but we'll see how it goes. Here's Trevor Story. That's a 7, which is patient again, but this one's a 90, so out of range 90 is a ground ball to short, kind of Falefa. Over to first, and there's 1 away. Trevor Story had a chance on a patient roll, but couldn't make it happen. 1 away for Bobby Dahlback. We get a 4, which is wheelhouse, 24, and that is gone. Bobby Dahlback just crushed one as Cole made the mistake, put it in the wheelhouse, and this time a Red Sox hitter did not miss it. It is now 3-1 as Garrett Cole grooved one, made a mistake, and now it's a 3-1 game. Red Sox on the board. Here's Jackie Bradley. It's a 9, which is tough, 84, and that's going to be a ground ball to second. LeMahieu is there. 2 down for the number 9 hitter, Christian Vasquez. Cole, 8 is tough, 34. Tough 34 is a strikeout for Christian Vasquez. So Vasquez out on strikes, so Cole comes back after the home run and gets the next 2 out, but the Red Sox get on the board. And we go to the bottom of the 5th with the score. Yankees 3, Red Sox 1. Evaldi now starting the 5th inning. Evaldi has faced 19 batters. Cole has faced 18 in 1 more inning. So Evaldi's been struggling a little bit. This might be his last inning. There's a plethora of bullpen pitchers they can turn to. So let's see, coming up first is Aaron Judge. Judge, 1 for 2, singled in the first, struck out in the 3rd. That's a 7, which is tough, 75, and that's going to be a ground ball to second. Story is right there, 1 away. And that'll bring up Anthony Rizzo. Rizzo singled and got hit by a pitch in the 3rd. That is a 7, which is tough, 57. Tough 57, just missed it. 57's a fly to left. A little opposite field job that Verdugo fields. 2 down for Giancarlo Stanton. We get a 10, which is ballpark on Evaldi. 36, we're in the wheelhouse again. Giancarlo Stanton with a wheelhouse check, 1-85. Doesn't look good for Nathan Evaldi. And it's a 42. It is long, and it is gone. Giancarlo Stanton with a solo shot. And the Yankees get that run right back, making it 4-1. As they get that run right back. And this is probably the last inning for Evaldi. Needs to get that 3rd out and get out of the inning. Here's LeMahieu. 8 is tough, 91, he'll do it. 91 is a ground ball to short. Bogarts over to Dahlback, and that's going to end the inning. But the Yankees get that run back, and at the end of 5 from the stadium, it's New York 4 and Boston 1, and I do believe that's going to be it for Eovaldi. His day is going to be done, and the Red Sox will turn to their bullpen in the 6th, where they would face, let's see, you got a lefty switch and a righty. So pretty much can go any direction you want if you're the Red Sox. So they're going to bring in, next inning, they're going to bring in Sawamura, a right-hander. So he would be coming in next. But right now, Garrett Cole is going to come in and try to pitch 6 innings. He's going to try to make it through the 6th. Bullpen activity for the Yankees in case he gets in trouble. You do have Wandy Peralta, the lefty, in the pen just in case. But right now, it is Kike Hernandez to lead it off here in the top of the 6th. He's 1 for 2, singled in the first, struck out in the 3rd. That's a 9, which is tough. 35, struck him out again. So Kike goes down on strikes again. Out number 1, and that's going to send us to Rafael Devers. He's 0 for 2. He's flew to center and grounded to short. That's an 8, which is tough. 13, and he goes down on strikes. So Devers is down on strikes. Back-to-back strikeouts for Garrett Cole as he's trying to finish strong. And now here comes Xander Bogaerts. We get a 3, which is defense, and a 23. Defense 23, first defensive check for the Yankees this season. 23 is the range of the left fielder Joey Gallo. Joey Gallo, amazingly, for his range, he is given an A range in left field, which is very strange. He's a D in right and center, but in left field, he's an A. So since he's an A on the range, it's a 1 to 25 for a hit, but 26 or higher, he will be out. And that is a 67, so he's definitely out. And on a 4, it's a short fly out. So can of corn out in left field, and coming in was Gallo. He had plenty of chance to get that and take care of things. So after 2 strikeouts and a shallow fly to left, Garrett Cole is going to go 6 innings. And they will cap him at those 6 innings and giving up just the 1 run, which was the homer to Dahlback. Let's see, he gave up 2 hits, only 2 hits. The single by Kike Hernandez to lead off the game, and then the home run by Dahlback. And let's check his walks and strikeouts. He only walked Bogarts. We had 1 walk. Strikeouts, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 strikeouts. So final line on Garrett Cole. His final line for the game. 6 innings pitched, 2 hits, a run, which was the home run, a walk, and 6 strikeouts. And, of course, he is in line for the win as long as the Yankees don't lose the lead. So Garrett Cole's day is done, as is Eovaldi's, obviously. So the Red Sox are going to be going to Sawamura. And I'm not even sure how to pronounce the first name. Hirokazu, maybe? I don't know. But it's Sawamura. He will be on to face Gallo, Hicks, and Higashioka. Gallo homered his last time up. That's an 11, which is tough. 39, that's a strikeout. So Sawamura gets the K on Joey Gallo. 1 away to start the 6th. And here's Aaron Hicks, center fielder. That's a 6, which is patient. 16, and that will be a walk to Aaron Hicks. So Sawamura issues the walk to Hicks. Hicks is a 3, but that's a 6, so no stolen base chance there. And Higashioka steps to the plate. We get a 9, which is in play 80. In play 80 is a fly to center. That's out number 2 as Kike puts it away. 2 down for Kiner Falefa. Shortstop, Kiner Falefa is 2 for 2 from the number 9 position. He did get caught stealing his last time up. That's a 6, which is patient. 72, that's going to be out of range. It's a ground ball to second. And Story will go the short way to first to end the inning. So 6 innings are in the books here at the stadium, and it is still the Yankees 4 and the Red Sox 1, and we will get a new pitcher for the Yankees. And let's see who that's supposed to be. That's probably all for Sawamura as well. Most of these pitchers in the bullpen are 1-inning pitchers. For the Yankees now, let's see who they might want to go to. Sawamura, 1-inning pitch to walk in, a strikeout, nothing else. So for the Yankees, they're going to be facing J.D. Martinez, Verdugo, and Story, so 2 rights and a left. So that means they will go actually to a right-hander, not a left-hander. And they're going to go to Mr. Castro. Miguel Castro will be coming on, right-hander. He will get the call for the Yankees. Miguel Castro, and of course Sawamura has already pitched for the Red Sox. So Miguel Castro does get the call. First out of the bullpen for the Yankees. And he's a 1-inning pitcher, obviously. He short relief, 34 games, only 29 innings pitched, so they just want him to pitch the 7th inning. That's his total task that they're assigning him. J.D. Martinez, the DH, will get the first crack at Mr. Castro. He's got a 4-1 lead to protect. See if he can do it. 4 is tough. 15, and he struck him out. Struck him out, J.D. Martinez with the whiff. And here's Alex Verdugo. That's a 6, which is patient. 66. Out of range, 66 is going to be a fly to left. Gallo puts it away for out number 2. 2 up and 2 down. So Castro, so far, so good for his season debut, as he is getting the job done. And Trevor Story, the batter. Story's 0 for 2. He struck out in the 2nd, grounded to short in the 5th. Castro, 6 is patient. 85, though, is out of range. 85 is a ground ball to Kiner-Falefa at short. And the ball, or not the ball game, but the inning is over. So nothing doing. Castro pitches a 1-2-3 top of the 7th. Did his job. And now we go to the bottom of the 7th. It's a 7th inning stretch. So I'm going to stand up and stretch. And I'm going to pause the video so it'll be kind of seamless on the video, but it's going to be a little bit of a break for me so I can stretch around. Okay, I'm finished stretching now and got things in place. We have a new pitcher on the mound for the Red Sox. It's Ryan Brazier. And Sawamura went 1 inning, gave a walk and strikeout, nothing else. And now it's Mr. Brazier. He's in the game against the top of the order for the Yankees, Donaldson, Judge, and Rizzo. 4-1 Yankees, bottom of the 7th here on opening day 2022. And for the Yankees, Ron Marinaccio will be coming in to pitch the 8th inning. So he's in the bullpen warming up and ready to come in. Brazier to Donaldson. We get a 6, which is tough, 69. Tough 69 is a double for Josh Donaldson. He greets Brazier with a double. Brazier threw a good pitch, but Donaldson was even better with that double. And now the Red Sox in trouble again. Aaron Judge. And I am going by the 3-batter rule. I'm using 2022 rules, so all relief pitchers have to face at least 3 batters, and if we go extra innings, there will be a ghost runner at second. So Brazier now facing Judge. That is a 4, which is in play, 92. That's out of range. 92 is a ground ball to short. Could be a double play. He's a 7, he's an 8. That's a 4, so it will be a double play. Double play for the Yankees is... It goes 6-4 to 3, and that clears the bases very quickly for Mr. Brazier. Pitcher's best. I'm sorry, the runner's with at second, not at first, so it is not going to be a double play. What am I thinking? Donaldson was on second, not on first. So it's not a double play. It's simply going to be a ground ball to short, and the runner will hold at second base. Got ahead of myself there. Sorry. It's only 1 out. Since Donaldson did double, it was not a double play chance. All right, here's Anthony Rizzo. We get an 8, which is tough, 56. And that's a base hit for Anthony Rizzo. A base hit. And since it's tough, he's going to get 1 base advancement on the runner advancement chart. I believe it said when it's tough, the basic rules say to just get 1 base. Let me double check it just to make sure. Or does it say that? It doesn't really say about tough. but he's not a 6. There's not 2 outs, so let's see. The base runner advances a 2. Runner on second, actually runner on second scores according to the advanced chart. According to this chart, if it's a runner on second and the low die is a 2, which is what it is here, he scores. So it will be a RBI single for Anthony Rizzo. I stand corrected. Anthony Rizzo, an RBI single. And the Yankees take a 5-1 lead here in the bottom of the 7th. And that'll send up Giancarlo Stanton. And now Brazier could definitely use a double play. That's a 6, which is tough. 0-4, and that's a strikeout, so it's almost as good as Stanton goes down on strikes. And it'll be DJ LeMahieu, the batter. Brazier just trying to get through the inning without any more damage. 8, which is tough. 0-4, another strikeout. So he comes back to strike out the last 2 he faces. But the Yankees do put the run on the board. They do it with 2 hits, no errors, and a man left. And that'll be it for Brazier. He's going to give up a run on 2 hits, no walks, and 2 strikeouts. But we're going to go now to the top of the 8th. Yankees now with a 5-1 lead. And Marinaccio given the ball. Brazier is done. Marinaccio will be in. And Marinaccio will be facing the bottom portion of the Red Sox order. Dahlbeck, Bradley, and Vasquez. On the bench, they have Arroyo, Plawecki, Shaw, and Arazu. I'm not sure how you pronounce it, to be honest with you. So we could get potentially a pinch hitter for one of these guys, but Dahlbeck homered his last time up, so I'm not going to pinch hit for him. I'm going to leave him in there to face Marinaccio. That's a 10, which is tough. 94, and that's a fly to left, so that wouldn't matter what he did with the 94. Most everybody would have made it out on that. So 1 away as Marinaccio gets Dahlbeck. And here is Jackie Bradley. 1 out in the top of the 8th. The Yankees lead it 5-1. Bradley grounded to second twice. He's 0 for 2. Marinaccio, 6 is tough. 11, he's going to strike him out. So Bradley out on strikes, out number 2. And that'll bring up Christian Vasquez, the catcher. He's 0 for 2 as well. Marinaccio, 8 is tough. 80, a tough 80. And we get a fly ball to center field, put away out there by Hicks. And the inning is over. So the Yankees get a clean inning from Marinaccio. And we go to the bottom of the 8th with the Red Sox trailing the Yankees 5-1. Yankees seemingly in control. They will need a new pitcher, will the Red Sox, in a 5-1 deficit. You're not really going to want to use your top guys, you wouldn't think. You have Gallo, Hicks, and Higashioka left and switch in a righty. So they're going to go with a lefty out of the pen, Austin Davis. He will be on to pitch for the Red Sox. He's the 4th pitcher used by Alex Cora. And due up, it'll be Gallo, Hicks, and Higashioka. Gallo only hit 102 against lefties, so probably a good strategy to bring in a lefty. Davis, a 6 is tough. 15 struck him out, so Gallo got the hat trick, 3 strikeouts. He did hit a homer, solo homer, but he did strike out the other 3 times, so with the hat trick. And here's Aaron Hicks. 10, that's patient. 91, though, is going to be out of range against the lefty, and that's ground ball to short as Bogarts throws to Dahlbeck. 2 up and 2 down for Davis, and that'll bring up Higashioka. .11 is patient. 90, that's definitely out of range. 90 is a ground ball to short, and Bogarts will take care of it again to end the inning 1-2-3. It's a 1-2-3 inning turned in by Austin Davis. He did get a strikeout, nothing else against him. And we go to the top of the 9th, last chance for the Red Sox, as they trailed the Yankees by the score of 5-1. And now we need to see who the Yankees will bring in. It's not a save situation. And let's see who's coming up for the Red Sox. It's Kike Hernandez, Rafael Devers, and Bogarts, top of the order. So they will go to Jonathan Loaizaga. He will come in to pitch, and if he gets in trouble, Aroldis Chapman is looming in the wings. So Loaizaga will get the go here. They would really rather hold Chapman for game 2 if they could, not have to burn him on opening day unless it's absolutely necessary. So Loaizaga will be in to pitch to Kike Hernandez, who is 1 for 3, singled and 2 strikeouts. Do you pinch hit for Kike here? You do have left-hander Travis Shaw on the bench. Let's see what kind of averages they have against the right-handers. Travis Shaw actually was 0 for 19 on the season, so really don't want to use him. They really don't have much. Christian Arroyo is a 281 hitter, so they could pinch hit. And that's what they're going to do. They're going to take out Kike. He will be pinch hit for by Christian Arroyo. So the right-hander, Christian Arroyo, and they'll figure out center field if it gets to that point. So Christian Arroyo will pinch hit here in the top of the 9th. Christian Arroyo. He was a 281 hitter against right-handers. So Loaizaga to Arroyo. 9 is in play. 47, no, that's out of range on the in play. 47 is going to ground it right back to Loaizaga, and there's 1 away. So 1 down for Rafael Devers. Yankees 2 outs away from an opening day victory, leading it 5-1 here in the top of the 9th. Devers, Loaizaga to Devers. 6 is patient. 78, that's out of range. It's a fly to center field. Hicks is there. 2 down. Yankees 1 out away from getting the final victory on opening day. Can't win them all if you don't win the first one. So Xander Bogaerts standing in the way right now. Loaizaga, 8 is tough. 65, that's going to be out of range. It's a ground ball to third. Up with it is Donaldson. Pumps and throws to Rizzo, and that's going to do it. The Yankees defeat the Red Sox by the score of 5-1. Yankees win it here on opening day 5-1. And we'll look at the totals for both teams and then get set up for the second portion of the ticker. Could give the player of the game to Garrett Cole. He went 6 innings, giving up only 2 hits and a run. Offensively, you had home runs from LeMahieu, Gallo, and Stanton. You had 2 hits from Rizzo. So it's kind of a mixed bag on offense. You could give it to several different people, but I think I'm going to give the player of the game to Garrett Cole. He kind of took charge and limited the Red Sox to next to nothing. In fact, after the home run by Dahlback, the Red Sox never got another base runner aboard. So the Red Sox only had 2 base runners, a single and a walk, and the walk got erased on a fielder's choice. So they only left 2 runners on base all game. So only 2 left on for them. And there were no errors on either side, so it was a cleanly played game. Only 2 hits for the Red Sox. For the Yankees, let's see what they did. They got a total of 10 hits, what I'm having for. So, final line score I have the Yankees, 5 runs, 10 hits, no errors. And let's see how many they left on base. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 left on. So 5 runs, 10 errors, 5 runs, 10 hits, no errors, and 6 left. Red Sox 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 left. Winning pitcher Garrett Cole, he is 1-0. Losing pitcher Nathan Eovaldi, he is 0-1. There was no save involved. So the Yankees get off to a good 1-0 start. And I'm going to pause the video and get ready for the ticker so that we can take care of the other games that are set to be played on the other days. This game was played April the 8th. So we need to take care of April the 9th and April the 10th so we can get ready for April 11th. And on April 11th, the Yankees will be hosting the Toronto Blue Jays in the next series. But they got a couple of games to play with the Red Sox to take care of that first. So we're going to get everything ready to go here for the ticker so I can get this out of the way and get everything in line for the ticker. with Fast Score. Ticker is brought to you by Fast Score. So, Fast Score it is. So I'm going to pause the video and get everything set up for Fast Score. Okay, we're ready for Fast Score. I did write in the Yankees winning this game 5-1. I'm going to play the other two games on the 9th and 10th offline and put them all into Digital Diamond Baseball for stat keeping as well as the game we just played. But now we've got the ticker for the 9th and 10th to get the other games all put into play. So again, we go back. The red dice are the visitors, the white dice are the home, and we have San Diego at Arizona. San Diego, the red dice get the advantage of an 11 over a 7. 11 and a 66. Boy, that's going to be almost guaranteed. So an 11 and 66 takes that to 10 runs. So the Padres pound out 10 runs. Arizona a 7 and a 35. Nowhere near. That's only 3 runs. 10-3 the final. San Diego over Arizona. Cincinnati and Atlanta. 22-4, huge advantage for Atlanta and the white dice. Huge advantage for the white dice. 22-4, it's huge. And look at that, a 66, and even though the Reds got 64, 66 and a 22, boy, that's 14 runs. 14 runs for the Atlanta Braves. The Reds a 4 and a 64, still get some 6 runs, but when you give up 14, that's not going to be good for you. Milwaukee and Chicago, 9-5 advantage for Milwaukee and the red dice. And that's a 15 rather. 50, that's a huge difference. 9 and a 15. 9 and a 15 is 2 runs. Chicago, a 5 and 21. 5 and 21 is 1 run. So even though the dice were a little bit better for the Cubs, the higher rated was Milwaukee, they get a 2-1 victory. Dodgers and the Rockies, a 17-3 advantage for the red dice. And that is a 23 versus a 16. So 23, a 17, and 23 is a 4. And for the Rockies, a 3 and a 16 is only a 1. So 4-1 victory for the Dodgers. Now Oakland and Philadelphia, a 10 versus a 12. 12 to the white dice. We get a 36. 36 and a 12. 12 and a 36 is only 4 runs. Oakland a 10, but 55. 10 and a 55 is 6 runs. So the A's come away with a 6-4 victory over the Phillies. For the Giants and the Marlins, it's a 9-3 advantage for San Francisco and the white dice. But again, bad breaks here. Only a 12. 9 and a 12 is 1 run for the Giants. Marlins a 43 to go with their 3. 3 and a 43 is going to be good for 3 runs, and they win the game 3-1. So they have taken the first 2 from the Giants on the road. Pittsburgh and St. Louis, Miles Mikolas has a huge advantage, 13-4 on the white dice. But the red dice have 66, so it could be an issue. 45, so we have 13 and a 45. 13 and a 45 is 6 runs for the Cardinals. But Pittsburgh has 4 and a 66. 4 and a 66 is 8 runs. So the Cardinals fall 8-6 to Pittsburgh, thanks to that 66. All right, here we go. Washington and the Mets. 19-5 advantage for the red dice and the Mets. 19-5 advantage. So that's 12, though, so not very good. 32 there for the Nationals. So 21. 19 and a 21 is 4 runs for the Mets. For the Nationals, they have a 5 and a 32. 5 and a 32 is only 2 runs, so the Mets get the victory. Houston and the Angels, 10 to a -1. Huge advantage for the red die in Houston. And look at that, 64. So that's going to be killer. 10 and a 64 is a total of 8 runs. For the Angels, a -1 goes way up here, but they did get a 56, so they do get 3 runs, but they lose 8-3. Tigers and the White Sox, Dylan Cease, a huge advantage over Casey Mize, 12-2 for the red dice. And that's a 55. a 12, and a 55. 12 and a 55 is a 7 for the White Sox. 15 for the Tigers in their number 11. I'm sorry, number 2. 2 and a 15, not very good at all. They get nothing like it, so they get shut out 7-0. And that'll send us to Cleveland and Kansas City. 14-11 advantage for Cleveland and the Red Dice. And they get a 45 versus a 35. 45 for 14. 14 and a 45 is 6 runs. And 11 and a 35 is 4 runs. So 6-4 victory for Cleveland. We go to Seattle versus Minnesota. Sonny Gray and Logan Gilbert. Slight advantage to the Red Dice in Seattle. And that's a 41 versus a 55, so it could be interesting. 41 and 8 and a 41 is 4 runs. For Minnesota, they have a 7 and a 55, and that's 5 runs. So the Twins get the victory. Of course, we skipped the Boston, New York, because I'm going to be playing it offline. Lyles against Rasmussen, Baltimore and Tampa, 9-5 advantage for the White Dice. That's a 53 versus a 12, so not good at all for the Baltimore. 53 for Toronto and a 9. 9 and a 53 is 5 runs. And for the Orioles, 5 and a 12. 5 and a 12, but they get shut out 5-0. Final game of the day for the 9th is Texas and Toronto. Gosman against Dunning. Gosman a 14, advantage White Dice. 63 versus a 41. 63 and a 14. 14 and a 63 is 8 runs for the Blue Jays. For Texas, 9 and a 41 only nets them 4 runs. So Toronto beats Texas 8-4. So I hope your team won, whoever you were following. As for our game, opening day, it was the Yankees besting the Red Sox by the final score of 5-1. The winning pitcher, Garrett Cole. Losing pitcher, Nathan Eovaldi. There was no save. Home runs in the game, Gallo, LeMahieu, Stanton for the Yankees, and Dahlback for the Red Sox. So that's going to do it from here. I hope you enjoyed that presentation of Payoff Pitch 2022 style from Yankee Stadium. And like I said, I'm recording this on Thursday morning and hoping to upload it on Thursday evening for the premiere so that everybody can watch it and I can make comments or people can ask me questions if they like. I wanted to record it because it's my first setup with Payoff Pitch in a while, and I really wanted to be able to pause if I ran into a question or ran into something I didn't want to do. So really wanted to keep it that way. I think I'm going to record these Yankee videos and do live videos on the game of the week for Saturday, which, of course, this Saturday is the 15th of April on the calendar, and that means it's opening day in the 1975 Inside Pitch NBC game of the week. It'll be the St. Louis Cardinals and Bob Gibson against Steve Carlton and the Philadelphia Phillies from the Vet, and that game is on Inside Pitch. And also, in between these two, we have the finals of the Stratomatic 2015 Demolition League, where we had 2 upsets in the semifinals. The Astros, number 4 seed, knocked off the 1 seed Cleveland, and the 3 seed Seattle knocked off the number 2 seed Mets. So it will be Houston at Seattle, best of 5. First 2 games are in Seattle. And it'll be Dallas Keuchel going for the Astros against Taijuan Walker for the Mariners in Game 1. So a lot going on. Hopefully I can get all these stuff on the tabletop. I'm having loads of fun doing it. I really enjoy the hobby. Get to play several different games, Stratomatic, Payoff Pitch, Inside Pitch. So get a little variety going. And really enjoy the community. And hope everybody else that has these games enjoys whatever game they choose to play in whatever method they choose to play it. And hope you guys watch the other content creators because they all bring something to the table. And I learn something, quite often from them, whether it's something on the computer or something with cards and dice. So all the content creators, please support them and tell them you appreciate them putting the games on the channels for our viewing. So once again, the final score, Yankees 5, Red Sox 1 here on opening day 2022. until Saturday and the NBC game of the week, enjoy playing every game you choose to play, however you choose to play it. And I will see you all down the road.